I caught my fiance on a dating app while we are still living together.
She's just checking out our options.
My fiance, 30 male, and I, 30 female, have been together a year and a half. We moved in with one another a few months ago. Lately, he's been a bit distant. By the way, this comes from Busted Him, Now What? And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I've been cheated on in the past and have been really insecure with his change in behavior. He has assured me he's just stressed about work and because his car broke down a couple weeks ago, and he hasn't gotten a replacement yet. Literal, psychoness of telling your partner who's been cheated on before, who's a little bit insecure, who comes to you and says, hey, I'm just, my past history.
Yeah.
Just feeling a little bit, anxious about your behavior change. And he's like, no, what? Me? You're crazy.
And he's actively on dating apps.
I couldn't let the nagging feeling go, so I did a little investigating. I didn't snoop in his phone or personal accounts, but I made a fake profile on a popular dating site and found him there. He was last online July 1st. That's pretty tough.
Did we get a heads up on what month it currently is?
No, but they've been together a year and a half, so.
But yeah. Still not good.
I don't know what to do. How do I confront him? What do I say? Can our relationship be saved? Do I even want to save it? I feel like I'm a wreck right now. And there are some comments, but what do you have to say to OP?
You don't want to save it.
No, don't get married to a guy that was literally cheating.
Right.
This is perfect time. I mean, it's terrible.
But it's way better that you found out now.
Yeah, than after the wedding. Ooh. And I mean, I don't know how close you are to the wedding, but maybe you haven't paid for everything, or maybe you can get refunds on things. It's terrible, but maybe better timing than it could have been. We told you not to tell says, honestly, I would catfish him under your fake profile before confronting him so that he can't later claim he never talks to women on there. It was an old account. He was looking on behalf of a friend, etc.
I hate that whole thing of I wasn't actually talking. You made the account.
You have an account.
What does it matter?
On it in July.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you were actively talking to women. You had the intention.
Right.
And that's enough, I think.
You made an account on a site that is meant for dating.
Yeah.
Whether you're just talking to them or going on dates or just having one is all the same.
OP says, thank you. I am considering trying to catfish him. I go to bed at 9, says, you don't need proof to leave him. This isn't a court case. Exactly. You know what you saw and you know why he was on there. I'm so sorry he did this to you. I agree. I don't think we need to go to all the trouble of catfishing.
Yeah. I think it's just going to hurt you more in this moment.
I don't think you need to do that.
No. If you want to.
I think honestly, your time should be spent finding a new place to live.
Yeah.
Hoping to Thrive says, don't marry someone who's still out there dating unless you're okay with an open relationship. If you confront him, he'll say it belongs to a friend. It was just a joke. I forgot I even had it. Test him out on the website and see if he's active or if it really does belong to someone else. But the thing is, all of these people are saying that he'll just lie. We already know that he's lying, you don't need to prove it. OP says, I think that's what I'm going to do. I texted an old high school friend he's never seen pics of to ask if I could use hers for my profile. Get off your high horse says, if you have to go through all that, come on, jump to the dump. You caught him.
Jump to the dump.
I agree. Jump to the dump.
Also, the fact that you didn't trust him enough that you made the profile in the first place already showed that you knew that he was going to be up to something.
Exactly. I mean, I know that you had past experiences and maybe already felt a little more insecure than others might who haven't experienced that. But yeah, it was still to the extent where you had to search it up. OP says he has never cheated on me before. That was an ex.
That you know of.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I was so insecure about him acting weird that I did some digging around. Unread Amid says, don't listen to people saying you should catfish him. That's very immature. Print out the profile and ask him to explain. His reaction will tell you what you need to know. If someone is using his photo online, I've seen this happen on Catfish, he'll be shocked and horrified. If it's actually him, 95% chance, he'll be uncomfortable, evasive, or give you a BS excuse. Then you can leave him. OP says, I'm 100% sure it is him. All the interests and favorite food, movies, music, plus life aspirations match. I just don't know when he wrote the profile. Not recent pics. It was active in July.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
It does not.
It doesn't matter. And all of those people who are like, I forgot to delete the account. That's not how those dating apps work. It's just not how they work.
Right. It wouldn't be actively showing saying that you're in July.
If you delete it, it will not be active. That's just how they work. So anyone who tells you, oh, I just didn't, like, no, they're lying.
I think it will stay active for like a little bit, like a week maybe.
Maybe a week.
But
maybe
they go away
most.
quick.
Yeah. Like they will.
They're not
going
to
to
be pushing
active.
that account.
Yeah.
Like they know.
Edit 1 says, thank you, everyone. Further investigating is leading me to believe that this is an older profile. The pics aren't recent, and I can positively date 8 out of 9 of them to before our relationship. The last, I'm not sure in the date. I think that means a hacking, signing in to try and delete the thing scenarios is a little more plausible. I don't think that in itself is enough to break up over. What?
I think she's saying like, I think he just had the account like paused but the app deleted, and she thinks that he went back in to fully delete the account, and that showed the like day of activity, which like I have heard of happening before, but that is such a stretch to not tell your partner like hey, by the way, realize I still had this paused. You can even watch me download it and delete it.
Nah, because the thing is, you have to unpause. Like, so okay, when you delete the app, it pauses. And you go back in and you have to actually unpause it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's saying
I
the
think
stretch of the thing could be that he went back in,
yeah.
unpaused it to delete it.
No, I know.
Like,
I agree with that, like that you are reading what she is saying. I'm just telling her you're wrong.
It's a stretch, dude.
You're wrong. Because he would have to unpause it for you to have seen it, you know? So I guess it is time to either confront or catfish. I will post an update thread to let y'all know the outcome, whatever that may be. Edit 2 says, well, people here are kind of split on it, but I took the advice to catfish. I need to know for sure. You do. We'll update when and if anything comes of it. Edit 3 says, kind of major update. His profile is gone. I will be confronting him when he gets home from work. And there is an update 3 days later. What do you think he's going to say?
I think he's just going to deny.
I think he's going to, yeah. He's
it's
like, what are you
gone
talking
now.
about? It wasn't there. What? That must have been a glitch.
I don't even think in this case that when people are just like confronted with that kind of stuff, majority of times they're not smart enough to be like, going into this elaborate like, oh, it's because I unpaused it to delete it. Like, no, they just get flustered and then it comes out kind of thing.
It would have been really obvious. I think that the confrontation thing would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
3 days later, OP says, I posted a few days ago because I found my fiance on an online dating site. I took Reddit's advice and catfished him. A few hours after I set the bait, I found that his profile had been deleted. When he came home from work, I showed him the screenshot and asked him what was up. Long story short, he was hanging out with his coworker, and the coworker was frustrated with figuring out how to navigate AME dating site. My fiance signed into his old account, opened in 2013, try to help his friend figure it out. Apparently, a lot had changed on this particular site, and he realized that his knowledge on the site was too out of date. So we logged out, and that was it. Liar!
It's just the fact that if like there's that much trouble, why aren't you using the friend's account?
Literally, he's such a liar. Yeah.
And then also, why aren't you immediately saying, hey, I logged into this, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, if something comes up,
oh my God,
here's what happened.
Absolutely go to my boyfriend and be like, hey, like my friend needed help. Is it okay if I just like do this to help her? I don't even think I would ever
I wouldn't
log
even get to
into
that point. I think I would
wouldn't.
fully be like, okay, pull up your account. Let's
I would
see
never
it.
log into a dating account to help someone with their dating account.
Also, how old are these people?
30.
You can figure it out.
You can figure it out.
Fully
You've grown up
understand
with
that you have
technology.
tech capabilities.
Yeah. A few days later, he saw in his email that he had gotten a message from a woman on the site, and he then deleted his account.
Oh my
You liar.
God.
He obviously couldn't show me his dating site account, but he did volunteer to show me his email account with all the alerts from the site. The only woman that had messaged him recently was clearly my fake account. He also realized when we were looking through his email that he had an unused old profile on another dating site. Huh? What? How did that get there?
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God,
Look
what?
I should download them all to make
just
sure.
to check.
Just to check. What if I made one in my sleep or something and I don't remember it?
I don't know. How'd that even get there?
That's crazy.
He signed in and deleted that one in front of me. I fessed up about catfishing him. He wasn't upset at all, said he understood completely considering my history. He's gaslighting you!
Don't believe this man.
He's literally going, yeah, no, I totally understand because you have a history.
Right.
So it makes sense that you would be insecure.
He's like, don't even worry. I'll forgive you
That's
for not
crazy.
trusting me.
Oh my God.
Ah!
He was more upset with himself for not realizing that his behavior would make me so insecure.
Oh my God.
You're a liar.
Ah!
I apologize for not trusting him and catfishing. He
No!
apologized for being so distant and not deleting his dating profiles ages ago. You freaking liar. This is not even, the thing is, he's not even a good liar.
He's not.
OP just really wants to believe him. And that's heartbreaking to
And
me.
I get it. I
get
get
it.
wanting to believe
You're about to
that
marry
the
this
person that
guy.
you're gonna marry is not lying to
But
you.
he is. He is.
But OP, you also have the history and trust your dang gut. It's usually right.
He offered an open phone, social media, email policy between us in case we ever stumble across another trust but verified type of situation. Top relevant comments. Oh, you're about to get read so bad. Shutter Speed says, what were you doing on this dating site, if you don't mind me asking?
Don't turn this around on her right now.
Stop it! She already said.
We already know.
I already said. OP says, I was looking for him. I have had a history of being cheated on, and even with a few years of therapy under my belt, I still have issues with implicit trust in my romantic partners. He had been acting off lately, and I thought he might be cheating. He was. He is.
I don't trust him.
So I signed up for the site and immediately searched for him by adjusting the search filters for his age, ethnicity, height, zodiac sign, etc. Dang. That's crazy.
That's like when people go like right next to the person they want and set it to like 0 miles.
That's genius. Also, usually for those added things, you have to pay extra. Like,
What?
I've never seen like on a dating site, like for ethnicity, height. For age, it's free, but usually for like ethnicity
You mean to
and height,
search it or to have it on your profile?
to like have it like only show you those people, it's usually extra.
Some of them are pretty intricate.
Maybe it's for different. Yeah, maybe it's
Probably
just for
different. I don't know how
yeah.
AME works.
Yeah, I also don't know how that works.
But yeah, typically age is the big one. And location.
I found him on the first page of results. That was the only reason I was on the dating site. So Just Here says, so have you found out why he was acting off if he wasn't cheating? OP says, yes. He found out that his harmful father, who he is in no contact with, has been diagnosed with a terminal illness and wants my fiancé to contact him. He's been spending a lot of time in his own head and a lot of alone time, trying to decide what he wants to do about it. Liar! He might, okay, he might have a father.
Be very true.
It
Could be very sad.
It could be true. But my point that he's lying about is that he's spending a lot of time in his own head trying to decide. A liar!
He's spending a lot of time in other women's head on those dating apps.
This could be the reason why he started cheating, but
That's what I
it's not the only
immediately
reason.
thought.
Yeah, he's probably like, oh wow, I'm having all these thoughts. He's self-sabotaging. I'm sure that's like the reason why, but he's still lying. He created the account with the plan to cheat. When he got the message, he balked and deleted the account. The fantasy of cheating was more appealing than the reality. Why are you booing? Why are you booing? They're right.
He's spitting facts.
They're right.
Upvote that man.
Upvote
or
him
woman.
or person. Please,
Upvote the
upvote
person.
them. Come on. OP says he created the account in 2013. Confirmed via email history. He was single when he created it.
I don't care when he created it. He was using it.
Why are we forgetting that it was last active in July?
Why are we forgetting that he had 2?
2. Yes, he had 2. Pythiastic says, life is good, but you're so insecure.
Oh my
You can't
God.
trust your boyfriend enough to have an adult conversation about this and instead go straight to catfishing? Why are we blaming this girl? Why are we blaming her? We should be blaming her for trusting him more. Stop trusting him.
Why are all of you guys trusting men
I don't
like
understand.
this?
This is not the Reddit I know. The Reddit I know
Reddit
would
I know-
say this is a freaking liar.
The Reddit I know would witch hunt immediately.
They would find his other profiles.
Yeah.
You're not the Reddit I know. Why are you so forgiving?
upvote these people.
I not only give this relationship 6 months tops, unless you start handling problems in a healthy
Oh my
way.
God. Like how he handled the problem that he found out from his no contact father that he was passing and didn't tell you and just started getting into his head and not talking to you and stressing you out.
Also didn't tell her. Yeah, one,
That's real healthy communication.
literally didn't tell you about this. He's about to marry you and didn't tell you about
Right.
this.
And you're out here being like, babe, what's wrong? Like, you just seem really off lately. I want to help.
He freaking blamed you. Again, he said, he was like, oh, nothing. And you're like, what's going on? He was like, nothing.
He was like, I haven't had a car for a while.
Yeah, come on. This kind of situation will keep happening. OP says, we've already been together a year and a half and have picked a wedding date.
A year and a half is nothing.
It's nothing. RRRZZZ says, OP, maybe marriage at a time when trust and communication needs to be rebuilt is not a great idea. You both need time to develop a way to communicate and trust each other. The situation can be way more intense when married. What if he decides snooping is a bad quality? What if you realize you really can't trust him? OP says, our wedding date isn't until 2020. Okay, so this was probably 2019.
And shout out, probably didn't get married that year like they planned.
Probably didn't
and not
get
because
married.
of this.
Probably. Yeah, the universe said, you're not getting married.
Yeah, the whole
I'm
vid
saving you,
happened
girl.
because their universe was like, these two can't get
They
married.
cannot. We've got plenty of time to work things through.
And you'll have even more.
You sure do.
You don't even know it yet.
Dang, this is so weird reading stories like this where you're like, no, stop.
Wait.
And this is replying to a deleted comment. Sorry, I don't think you can speak for all men. My fiance has been super understanding of the situation. He wants to work through it. He's not upset with me in the slightest.
Upset at you for what?
I wonder why.
What did you do?
Nothing. Sorry that two people choosing to stay together and work through things even when mistakes were made is so upsetting to you.
Oh my God, girl. You're gonna look back on this the next time he does it and you're gonna feel a little silly. And listen, I've been there. We've felt a little silly before.
I've never felt so gaslit by a story. This is crazy. MDP says, sweet baby Lord Jesus, a lot of people on this thread need therapy. OP, save your sanity and delete these threads. OP says, and I thought I was the crazy, insecure, untrusting one, LOL. But seriously, there were a few people in my original OP and private messages who were very helpful and just plain awesome who asked for updates. I'll leave this thread up for them. At the end of the day, I 100% believe that my fiance has been faithful and that our relationship is now stronger for the experience. So I'm okay with letting the grumpy McGrumpersons continue to whine about how much of a dog he is. So maybe they're just not including those comments. They must be there.
And you know what? I'll take the role of Grumpy McGrumperson.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I will wear that crown.
With pride. And how stupid I am for believing him. Or that I'm an insane piece of stalker trash and whatnot. By the way, I believe that you guys can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story, but oh my goodness gracious.
And listen, now we're at the point she's doing it.
She's doing it.
Staying
She's getting
in it.
married.
And,
well, she
and
might not have.
You're about to have so much time to think.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to check after this if we have an update.
I need to know.
During the vid.
I need to know if their relationship was able to test like
that hard
to
before
test
marriage?
that hard, because you're about to test harder than you've ever tested before, and I don't believe in you, but maybe you made it through.
And then it gets back to like, okay, and maybe I'm just putting my past experiences into her, and maybe it'll work out. And for you, girl, I hope it does.
I don't have
I'm
these past
ye of
experiences,
little faith.
and I have no faith. I have no bias on this. I just don't have faith in this relationship. OP says, replying to another deleted comment, I did come here looking for advice. That was what my entire OP was about. I took the advice to catfish him. That wasn't my advice. That wasn't our advice, to be clear. So then the advice to confront him. After following that advice, the fact that he did not fall for the catfishing, that he deleted the account on his own accord, listening to his explanation, hearing the sincerity in his voice, recognizing his attempts to make sure no misunderstanding like this happens again, seeing the hurt in his eyes because he recognized how upset I had been, his willingness to be open with his phone and email going forward, and a host of other things, I do not believe he was cheating on me. It is as simple as that. I believe him. I think you're projecting a lot here, especially with that comment about getting pregnant. And I don't know what that comment said, downvoted comment. Or a deleted comment. But that's the end of the story. So we have no idea what happens next. Maybe there's an update we can find, but I don't have a lot of hope, seeing as this was posted before 2020.
I just want to know if the wedding happened or not in 2020. Like, it could have been like a January, February wedding.
I kind of think, because if there is no post, either they're outrageously happy, they broke up, and now they have nothing more to update about.
But those would be the two options. My fiance openly talked about our private matters and dismissed me being heard about it.
Dude, shut up! Trigger warning for transphobic language.
I, 32 male, have been with my fiance, 34 female, for 2 years now. And I found out recently that she's been sharing intimate details about our spicy sleep life with pretty much anyone who asks, including friends, coworkers, and strangers she's just met.
Yeah, that's yikes.
By the way, this comes from Throwaway Drag 11, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit, and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, for backstory, I was fat and depressed most of my life, and at 29, I finally stuck with a diet and exercise plan that works with me. And the results have been great. Without trying to brag, I have a lean, toned body.
Okay, all right.
He said, without trying to brag,
I'm hot.
I've got in shape.
Oh, yeah.
Think of a swimmer's body with some free weights added, since these activities are my favorite ways to work out. Last year's Halloween was the first time I felt confident enough to wear a revealing outfit to try and show off a bit. I have pretty curly hair, and I've always admired men that could pull off androgynous looks. That Halloween, I went as Dr. Frankenfurter.
Stop, I love you. You're great. You're great.
Oh, and we have a description.
Stop it.
My outfit was a corset, fishnets, heels, a fake pearl necklace, and a biker jacket in case I got cold.
You're exactly who you think you are.
You are exactly. You know who you are, and you're rocking it.
And it's true.
My fiance absolutely went wild when she saw me in it.
Doy.
And was probably the...
Don't we all want our partners to wear Dr. Frankenfurter outfits?
And you know, hadn't thought of it before. Yeah.
My boyfriend and I went to see Rocky Horror, and I said, you should try that on.
And was probably the spiciest I'd ever seen her that night. So we had spicy sleep while I was still in the outfit.
Stop.
Heels and all, I hope.
Damn.
Since then, she's asked me if I would occasionally dress in lingerie for her. I don't really get any spicy-related pleasure from wearing them, but she likes it, so it became a semi-regular part of our spicy sleep life. Now I have a collection of corsets, garter belts, fishnets, stockings, thongs, and pantyhose.
You are exactly who you think you are.
I don't wear them regularly, and I wouldn't wear them at all if it wasn't for my fiance. I guess she must have told her friends about it because one of my friends is dating one of her friends, and he shared a screenshot of their text saying that I like to dress in drag.
Okay, see, that is inappropriate at that point, because
the most that I thought this, like,
yeah,
that I think is like an acceptable thing is like maybe your like closest, most trusted
yes,
friend or maybe a small group of them get some like details of like,
Yes.
oh my God, guess what's happening kind of thing.
I think that's personally, I think that's okay. It varies, relationship to relationship.
I should not be making it out of that.
No, absolutely not. And also those friends should have never told their partners. That's incredibly inappropriate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, if my friend came to me and told me something that they were intimate that they were doing with their partner, I would not go and then tell my partner or other people. That's completely inappropriate.
And also though, if you did tell your partner, I would hope that it was because maybe they were also there and were also just receiving the information.
Yes.
If I was the partner and got that
Would
information,
not then text that person.
I would never go back to my
Idiot.
friend originally and
Yeah.
be like, so you like to do this?
Yeah.
No.
Gross.
Shut up.
Gross.
You're just jealous
Gross.
because he's hot in a
Yeah.
Frankenfurter costume.
He's a freaking hottie and you're not.
You couldn't pull off that corset and
No,
heels.
sir. You're not who you think you are.
He asked me if it was true, making sure to let me know he wasn't going to judge me.
Then why are you asking? Then literally why? Oh, I'm not going to judge you, but is it true?
Is it true that my girlfriend goes wild for me? Yeah.
I know. Honestly, you respond like, oh, hell yeah. My girlfriend loves it.
Yeah.
You should try it, dude.
Yeah.
That's how you respond.
And I told him what I typed above. But obviously, I was pissed that so many people knew the intimate details about our spicy sleep life. I confronted my fiance about it, and it's important to know that she's a pretty free spirit when it comes to spicy proclivity. When I asked her why she shared that information, she said, "We all talk about our spicy sleep lives in the group chat."
Love that. I think that when you have close friends, I think especially before you get into like a committed relationship, I
Yeah.
think there is a level of like honesty, especially in like female relationships. I can't speak on male, but where you are telling a lot of what happened
Right.
in detail on these dates that you went on. However, when you then get into a relationship, you should start telling a little less. There are certain people I think
I was
that
gonna
like
say, I
you
think
can
it still depends on friend to friend.
No, it does.
And you need to know both your partner's comfortability with it and your friends.
Yes. I think there are still people in my life that I am a lot more honest with than, everyone. You should know who to tell and who not to tell.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you should, what to tell.
Yeah.
And your partner clearly doesn't know that.
I asked who else knew and why she thought it was okay to share, and she said, "Stop blowing this up. I've only told a few coworkers and my friends whenever we talk about spicy sleep." I got really mad and left to stay at a friend's that night. And I told her that I was seriously reconsidering whether I wanted to be in this relationship or not. Now she's alternating between trying to get me to come home so we can talk and telling me that I am blowing things out of proportion because there's nothing wrong with what we do. I know there's nothing wrong with what we do, but I consider it private. And I honestly feel a bit emasculated. No. You knew who you were.
You know who you are. You know who you are.
I know wearing lingerie doesn't make me any more or less of a man, but emotionally I still feel that way. I'm not even really sure why I'm here. I think I just need to talk to people on the internet because it's not comfortable to talk about this stuff with anyone in real life. See, so now I'm feeling too like you and your fiance are at opposite extremes of the scale of comfortability, and it just wasn't talked about. And I think, like, personally for me, I would say, dude, like, don't re-question the whole relationship, but definitely be like, and going forward, here's my comfortability with this.
Please do not talk about this stuff.
And then if you still hear of it happening, then a boundary's been crossed.
I agree. I agree.
I'm just wondering fully if she just didn't realize.
I think there is a level of that because some people are a lot more open, but I think that you should talk to your partners about it.
100% should. And you are totally valid for still being uncomfortable. And if that is your breaking point, sure. But I feel like if you wanted to, you can set that and keep going.
Yeah, I feel like usually there's like I don't know. I feel like that it's kind of not maybe easy, but it does seem kind of easy to know which things should be told and which not. And but I guess she didn't pick that up.
I really don't know how to get over this. If I should get over this, or if I'm just being too sensitive. I love her more than anyone in the world, but she's shown she doesn't care if her actions make me feel bad. My head's a mess, and any advice is appreciated. And we have some comments. Deleted says, "It's literally emasculating you for her spicy hobby. which you're willing to do to appease her desires.
Wait,
It's literally emasculating you for her spicy hobby.
I'm trying to figure out if this person is anti-drag from that sentence, because it kind of sounds like you're anti-drag and you
does.
think that it's emasculating for
Yeah.
him to be in drag, which you're dead wrong about that.
That is exactly what it's saying.
So you're telling me
so
Tim
wrong.
Curry as Dr. Frankenfurter is not a freaking man, like piece of hunk in that role? Not that Dr. Frankenfurter is man, but that Tim Curry is not hot in that role? You're lying. You're lying to me.
That's a heck of a sacrifice. She isn't even capable of admitting she shouldn't have shared that without your permission. She is wrong in every way possible. That would be a one-way ticket to make me walk on eggshells around her. So you can do things for her, but she isn't willing to do things for you, like keep it private? She needs to apologize, understand boundaries, and be a better person. I do think that she could apologize and understand boundaries.
You're like half right.
But I don't think that she's, like, I think she's just that kind of person. I think she's just open.
I agree. She is crossing boundaries. She is an a-hole for saying, oh, like, what's the big deal? And not
she
listening.
does need an apology, 100%.
But this person is coming from the idea that this is a, like, sacrifice.
Right.
I mean, literally said sacrifice for OP.
OP was like, I'm not really, like, against doing it. Like,
OP dressed as Dr. Frankenfurter
by choice.
by choice.
Because he felt hot.
Yes. Because Dr. Frankenfurter is hot. What are we getting here?
The funny part is, I don't really think Dr. Frankenfurter's that hot.
It's okay where we have different.
But the fit, but
the
picturing
fit.
the fit. Now, every time you see her friends and coworkers, they're going to see you in a skimpy lace. No! Because they're probably normal people who aren't imagining their friends' partners in lingerie.
Strange comment. 1, they haven't seen a picture of him. And
Right.
3, like, OP went out as Dr. Frankenfurter. Why are
They've
we?
seen it!
They've seen it. They've seen it.
Good luck, man. She sucks for that, but I don't know if it's relationship ending. She just needs to ask you first.
Last sentence.
Dude, you're confusing me. There's more to this commenter.
This commenter makes no sense. I'm like, yeah, okay, no. Yeah, that's a good point. No, pick a side.
Also, don't do anything you don't want to anymore. I know you say you don't mind it's for her, but if a part of you doesn't want to do it, don't.
What, did we not read the story? OP said he's not turned on by it. It doesn't mean that he doesn't want to do it.
OP says, I think you were able to articulate some of the things I feel in a way I couldn't. Thanks for commenting.
Okay, well,
Deleted responds, what happens behind closed doors must stay behind closed doors. I understand if she talked about it to close friends. Maybe she didn't know your boundaries. But invading your privacy and degrading your dignity to strangers, coworkers by talking about something so intimate is not okay. It really shows the lack of morality and boundaries on her part. To top it off, she has been trying to make you feel guilty for feeling the way you do. The issue may be deeper than you anticipated if she's more inclined to gaslighting you rather than trying to solve the issue and apologize. And we have an update a little over 2 months later.
only comment I fully agree with.
That was the same dude.
What? Dude, well, I agree with that comment. I don't agree with your other comments.
I think that was the same deleted account responding to OP's response.
Got you. Okay, well, that comment, you were right. The other comments were only half right.
The other comments were just him really hung up that he thought that men wearing lingerie was emasculating.
That's such a shock. Are you wearing lingerie? Oh my god. I would never do that. I can't believe you did that for your girlfriend and then she betrayed you. Which she did betray him. It's not a sacrifice for him to do it.
Yeah.
He never said that. Stop putting words in his mouth.
Update, little over 2 months later. I decided to break up with my fiance and it started a crap storm.
It seems like probably she continued.
Yeah, so I think that commenter might have come after this update and we just got it beforehand.
Ooh. Okay.
I could be wrong. I told her I felt disrespected and it was effed up that she would try to pass off her spicy hobby as mine, especially when she knew that the only reason I participated was for her
Dang
sake.
it. Okay. Dang it.
She begged and pleaded for me to take her back, but I just couldn't view her in the same way, and I couldn't feel comfortable around her. After she realized I wouldn't take her back, she started calling me a little witch and a sissy. which struck me as off because I don't know many people who use the word sissy. And said she'd make sure everyone knows how much of a witch I was.
You suck, girl.
This
you had a
what the
gold
heck?
mine of a partner.
You had a man that willingly dressed as Dr. Frankenfurter because he felt hot as that.
And then you freaking do this. You suck. You freaking suck. You had a man who
I'm
willingly...
way more on the other commenters thing now.
Me too.
Save for the fact that I still don't think that him doing this was emasculating.
Yeah, no, I don't think that. And I think that you I want you to get into the headset, the mindset of being
go back
I
to
am
your,
a strong,
yeah,
man.
go back to your Frankenfurter mindset.
Yes, go back to that mindset. However, I do fully agree now because you've said I only did it for her.
And then she lied saying that it was
she
all
sucks
your
all
thing.
the way. She's
Yeah.
an a-hole.
Yeah,
Get rid of her.
Girl, own up to your own spicy wants.
Yeah, come on.
This whole confrontation happened in our apartment, and it was after she said all that I decided to leave. She told everyone she could think of that I had a lingerie spicy hobby and I loved wearing women's underwear. Okay, so she was just
What?
I read ahead, and we can't say that word, but she also started using some phobic language, specifically calling me a slur for a trans person. Lucky for me, I never allowed her to take pictures of me while I was in lingerie.
Well, you could have sued her if she shared it.
Oh, yeah, easy. So when some family members and friends asked, I just told them she was crazy and trying to get back at me for breaking up with her. Maybe it would have been better to explain the situation, but I'm still embarrassed. I didn't think anyone really needed to know any specifics about the situation.
I just want OP. She sucks. She's a terrible person.
We didn't have all this info earlier.
Yeah.
She sucks.
She sucks. She's a terrible person. And I just want, you are no less of a man for wearing, clothes don't have gender.
You were low-key more of a man for
I
being so
think
open
so.
and doing that, in my personal opinion.
You were a better partner for doing something for your partner
her.
This is what she wanted. And you probably looked freaking hot doing it.
Yeah.
Screw her.
Her family was sure to let me know that I was a POS and weird and slur for trans. I blocked her and them though, so that didn't last for long. Our lease was almost up, and I have a friend who owns his home, so it was relatively easy to move out. I burned all the lingerie I bought. So now there is no real evidence of that particular activity, which is a weight off my shoulders. I mean, I will say, I don't think you needed to burn it, but I could understand you don't need it anymore because it wasn't really your thing.
I do kind of just hate the implication that OP feels shame for this to the point where you have to burn it. There is nothing shameful about this.
She's just a terrible person.
She just is a terrible, awful person.
I really wish I could forget the whole relationship, to be honest. I'm looking into buying my own house since I have a decent amount of savings and my friend is only charging me utilities so I can save up even more. And by the way, there's even more episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. There's just a little bit left. Any other thoughts?
Just that this woman is such a piece of trash.
So much.
To the point where she found this perfect man. This truly perfect man who was willing to listen to her needs and desires, and then she went and freaking destroyed that relationship.
Rumors. So weird of her too to be spreading these oh my god, can you believe he does this? Girl, all you had to do was just not say anything about it and no one would have known. Thank God you did low-key so that he could get out of here because you suck.
Oh yeah.
A bright note in all of this is that she lost her friends.
Nice.
It turns out that her friends didn't like how she was talking about me, so they recruited my other friend to ask me about the text I mentioned in the previous post.
I take it back. That guy who texted you, props.
10 out of 10.
Props to him.
After we broke up, I got several messages from them saying they thought how she treated me was effed up and that they'd all stop talking to her.
Nice.
I think it's cool that they stood up for me despite not knowing me all that well. These past couple months have been really hard on me, and though I got out in a relatively easy way, I still can't seem to move past it. I've been drinking more than I should and turning to psychedelics to try and process the whole situation. I know these actions are self-destructive, but it's so hard to face the world. I feel embarrassed, emasculated, and unattractive.
No,
and
never
you are
feel
none of those
unattractive.
things.
Never feel unattractive. You know who you are.
Go back and listen to how hot Sophia thinks Frankenfurter is.
Please rewind the tape.
I can't see how I'm supposed to open up to a partner in the future when my trust has been broken in such a uniquely painful way. OP,
This is so sad.
there are good people out
Don't
there.
let anyone dim your sparkle.
Don't let them do it.
Please.
I really wish I could turn my emotions off and just live in a state of apathy. I know I should probably try therapy, yes, but this intense shame makes it really hard to talk about. Anyway, I'm just updating Reddit in an effort to get all these feelings out somewhere. I hope this update offered some closure for anyone interested in my story, and that is the end of that story.
This is sad.
OP.
This is devastating. This is that was a devastating story.
That was devastating.
Dang.
OP, I'm sure you're hot as F and go out into the world and continue to be that same confident person if you can.
Please.
Because there's people that are gonna think you're the coolest person ever, and those are the correct people.
There are other women out there who think you're hottie. So go find those ladies.
There are other people out there that know
You're
how
hottie.
hot Dr.
Yeah.
Frankenfurter is.
Yeah.
But that is the end of that story. And we've got another one.
My ex demanded 50-50 custody after cheating on me.
Hopefully you're not in a state that demands that.
I, 33 female, dated Paul, 38 male, for about 7 years. When I got pregnant with my son, 6 male, we were both very excited. He wasn't planned, but we both wanted him. We made plans, he proposed, and we were talking about just going to the courthouse or having a wedding after the baby was here. But when I was 7 months pregnant, he left me for a coworker. By the way, this comes from Complex S, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit, and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I had no backbone then. Even though it was our apartment, he kicked me out and I tried making it work, staying in our city. I didn't want a random roommate with a baby. And even studio apartments in bad areas were crazy expensive. One of his couple friends were letting me stay with them, but I really didn't have any other friends who had stayed in the city. I gave birth there and I did really try to make it work. But when my son was 6 months, I had to move back to my hometown in the Midwest. He resented me a lot for it, and I ended up having to put him on formal child support for him to send me any money. I stayed with my parents for a while, but now own my home, and we really made a great life here. Sometimes Paul would fly in and see our son. He's probably only ever had him overnight like 5 times, though.
Oh my God.
Anyways, yeah, that's the background. But Paul and his new wife are moving to my town in a few weeks, which is great. But the other day, he texted me saying that it would work best for him and his wife, Angie, to do switchovers every Wednesday. I'd been asking him about where they were going to live, like the area, to see about custody stuff. And this was the first thing he said about it. To be clear, I'm fine with going to 50-50 custody over time in a reasonable way. I'm not trying to keep my son from his dad at all, but everything I've read says that starting it slowly is best for my son. We're obviously very close, so this is going to be a fragile transition for him to not always be living with me. I want this to be a positive experience for my son and not traumatic. I think starting with every other weekend and then school nights to help transition it, but he's been really rude about it. I'm okay financially, but things are still hard. I'd rather not have to resort to lawyers and waste money when I'm willing to go towards 50-50. He just keeps calling me bitter and ungrateful and saying, I just want child support.
Oh my God.
Which he hardly ever pays, by the way. I was venting to a coworker and he told me that what Paul was doing was so impressive and I needed to put more effort into making it work. He said I should be more grateful that Paul is moving here for his son and to be more easygoing.
No, because Paul is not taking his son into account at all. So he's already being a bad dad.
Exactly.
And
it doesn't
he's
matter
more
if
than he
he's
has been.
showing up to the place that his son lives.
She is not saying that 50-50 custody won't eventually be a thing.
Yeah.
She's just saying, hey, what's best for our son is that he has a transition period for this, because this is a lot.
It's like crazy for this guy to just kind of show up after 7 years and say, oh, well, now I want a parent.
And every Wednesday, yeah, that'll be the transition. That's mid-school week, dude.
So now I'm wondering if I'm the a-hole and being bitter and ungrateful.
No.
Comment 1 says not the a-hole. Go to court and sue him back for child support. And don't agree to change your custody arrangement. Make him go to court to get that done. You owe him nothing. Letting the courts sort it out is your best course of action. And there is an update. Things have been weird. My ex Paul was pretty rude and cruel towards me when I posted. I see his parents every so often so that they can see our son. And during one of these times, before they moved here, I basically told them my concerns. I didn't want to keep our son from Paul. I just wanted the transition to be positive. His dad said that he believed, basically, Paul doesn't understand how attached kids this age are to their parents they see every day. Like, he's fine going to school and even sometimes has sleepovers. He's not a mama's boy or anything. He's just a regular kid. His parents said they'd talk to him, but keep it discreet. I don't know how hard they tried to keep it discreet, but all of a sudden, Paul stopped pushing the 50-50 custody, attacking me, and was being much nicer. That's good of his parents, then.
Yeah, go parents.
He said he wanted us both to come over and see the new house together and I could meet his wife. I wasn't thrilled about meeting his wife or anything, but I do think it's important that we meet. If I ever date again, I would introduce someone to Paul before our son. So I got some information before they moved here from my ex-mother-in-law. I had asked her how many kids his new wife, I'll call her Shelly, had, what she did, etc. She's 44, in sales, and has 2 daughters with her ex-husband who are 13 and 11. They divorced after their son passed away a few years ago. Wow. Her daughters stayed back in New York for the school year with their dad, but will be here on breaks. It felt weird knowing so much about her before meeting her, but I'm sure Paul told her all about me. Anyways, after they got settled in, they invited us over for dinner. Their house is nice. It's in a safe neighborhood. Shelly made a point to say that their neighbors with a pool have a fence, and she's already talked to them. I kind of left that. Paul was nice. Almost too nice. You know when you know someone is being nicer or on their best behavior? Like, I know you don't actually act like this. Please be serious. But he remembered my food allergies after all these years. Shelly seems nice. Kind of anxious, but sweet. She seems to like my son a lot. Last time he'd gone there, he came back talking about some treat. I guess it's a recipe she has, and she made it. She offered me the recipe, but I told her it could just be her thing. I did thank her, but I don't like baking. She remembered his favorite shows and characters and played with him while Paul and I talked. His work week is Sunday through Thursday, so his weekends are Friday and Saturday. He agreed that 50-50 would be too much, too fast, and actually apologized. He said he was just excited. We agreed that he'd pick our son up from school on Thursdays and drop him off at my place before work on Sundays. The first weekend, my son did great. The second, he asked me to pick him up on Saturday, but then asked to go back that night. I know it's a bad precedent, but he's a little guy and going through a change, so I brought him back. He's been really happy ever since. Paul also paid me the money he's owed me. I asked him why he didn't pay me before and got mad when he wouldn't tell me. And he admitted he borrowed it from his parents.
This is like low-key, though, turning around great.
Yeah, I feel like his parents really had an effect on him.
And I was like very happy to hear that even though Paul really wasn't around, that her ex-in-laws stayed around so much.
Yeah, super active in their lives.
And I just like the idea that I feel like the little guy was testing, like, well, would you pick me up whenever I wanted? And then he got picked up whenever he wanted. He was like, okay, we can go back now.
He's like, that's fine.
Great.
That's sweet. I like that. After we had that clean slate, we reworked child support since he has physical custody and parenting time. I told him it was his job to file the custody with the courts, and I don't know if he's done that yet. I'm sure if I ask Shelly, she'll take care of it. She's not terrible. Kind of annoying, and her energy can be a little frenetic, but I don't have bad vibes from her, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
I kind of feel bad for her. I do obviously feel bad for her, for whatever reason. I don't feel possessive of my son over her. She sends me pictures when he's there and gives me updates and recaps that can be a bit much, but I guess it's better than the alternative. I don't do the same for them, and sometimes I feel guilty. Should I be doing that? By the way, you know what you can do? Listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Seems like everything's good now.
Seemingly okay.
Yeah. That went as well as it could have, I feel like.
Yeah, it seems like OP's a little wary, but rightly so.
Very
fair.
Very fair.
But it seems like everything's fine.
You're doing great.
I'm actually better about all of it than I thought I would be. Don't get me wrong, the first night he was there, I cried myself to sleep and watched his favorite movie, but it got better. There's a Thursday class at the local school next semester I want to take, and I've been seeing friends at night and on weekends more. Holidays will be weird. Shelly's girls will be here for the week of Thanksgiving, and they asked if my son could go over that week after he gets out of school Tuesday. I know it's weird, but my family doesn't do Thanksgiving. Like when my son was younger, I invited some family over and did the whole dinner thing and worked myself ragged and realized why we don't. They invited me to come to their house for Thanksgiving, and I got super anxious about it. So I told them I already had signed up to volunteer, and now I need to find somewhere to volunteer. So yeah, not the most exciting update, but I'm hoping things stay undramatic. And that is the end of that story.
And I hope things do too.
Me too. This all seems great.
Lovely.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Yeah, you figured it out, and I'm proud of you for it.
Yeah.
But that is the end of the story and the end of the episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.